This is about the Investment New South Wales Minimum Viable Product Initiative. I have named this video Where Innovation Meets Stifling Bureaucratic Incompetence, and you will see why. This is a lived experience account of all that the program offered and that which it has yet to deliver. My name is Philip Edward Davies, and if you do a search on Google Patents, you'll see that my first application for a patent was in 1988. I have just spent 5 of the last 7 years under a restrictive covenant whereby I get paid a sum of money yearly not to do anything in a given industry sector, and that was enforced by the purchasers of my previous business. As one of my solicitors at the time said, "Just shut up and put your hand out every year." And that business had no registered intellectual property protecting it. So I'm not just a madcap inventor with a wild idea. I do have ideas, and some of them do work, and I get paid for those ideas. In my 65 years on this planet, I have only ever lived in New South Wales. I have only ever had businesses registered in New South Wales, and I have spent a lot of money in New South Wales. I meet the criteria that were expressed as the stimulus to innovation, all before the 1st of September 2025. And I acted on the stimulus that was expressed by investment NSW in a variety of domains, one being YouTube. Now, the owner of that channel, being Investment New South Wales, has just prior to September 1st, 2025, the rollout of the new program, which was 2 months late, taken those videos down from YouTube, but the evidence that they were there and the intent of that program still exists. I was completely getting ready for the launch date of the 2025 program. It was to be July 1st. Have a look at this patent pending application. It is the 30th of June 2025. There was so much midnight oil burnt getting that together. Then nothing happens throughout July. I would say that I checked the New South Wales MVP website at least 10 times a day. I even contacted Business New South Wales 3 times, both phone and email. They had absolutely no idea when it might make it onto the web page, but as part of their perfunctory training, they assured me that I offered them valuable feedback. That is not a personal attack. The staff were very pleasant. It is just the environment they work within. Then it turns into August, and the MVP webpage is still showing the program is to be released in July. So I then contacted the Minister for Small Business, Janelle Saffin. That very date, the MPV webpage was changed to Coming Soon. This is profoundly infuriating, and I genuinely believe that nobody in Investment New South Wales who is part of the MVP program understands the fact that you only get 12 months from the date you have lodged your patent pending application to mobilise and monetise the invention, so that when you are considered for the big spend on full patent protection, if it's a good product, you would have enough confidence to actually go and spend the $30,000. It seems to be that nobody in Investment New South Wales knows that I would certainly like a response to this. Now, on to the actual product, which works and is fully functional but is stifled by Investment New South Wales, and I will explain why. In March 2021, I came up with an idea for chilling beverages rapidly. I registered the name Torpedo Chill, and I, by my own admission, did nothing. In early 2025, I started to become aware of high-functioning artificial intelligence. This was not the tipping point to mobilize my invention, but the tipping point was completely the MVP program as expressed then. Torpedo Chill is now Instant Chill, and here is its webpage, instantchill.ai. Everything is now a reality other than getting a company to license my idea from me. All of it was motivated by the likelihood and, within my efforts, a strong presentation for a grant to further this product. And all this time I've been spending money and learning, doing things on the cheap, waiting and getting as close as I can to total market readiness, TMR, so that I align perfectly with your criteria and investment NSWs, MVPs, last 6 years of expressed criteria. Then, after having done all of that, the program brief for September 1st, which is running 2 months late, comes out, and then it is only money that gets spent after September 1st that is eligible. I thought it was all a typographical error. Then I started to look across other inventor forums, and it was all real, and there was a resonating chorus of dissatisfaction. On the face of it, all I had to do was become the universal soldier that was familiar with what is now 6 different paid versions of AI, 5 different versions of industrial design software, mostly paid. Familiarity with the patenting process and submission of relevant forms and the timelines relevant to those forms, 3D printing slicer software, government incentive programs for innovation, and accounting software that I was already very familiar with. At a grant level of between $25,000 and $50,000, I knew that this was only for universal soldiers that did not want to spend money in individual domains, and because the actual patent process, whereby there can be no prior art on an item and you've got to have freedom to operate and a variety of other prerequisites. So I decided to take it all in-house. I hear people say, why don't you just get industrial designers to sign non-disclosure agreements? Well, here's the fact. Not everybody wants to sign them. In fact, even when I take the idea to potential companies that are hopefully interested in the product, they won't always want to sign an NDA either, because it opens a hornet's nest of potential liability. Knowing that I had to meet the opening date as expressed by Investment New South Wales, which was July 1st, 2025, I worked tirelessly prototyping, industrial designing, making application for patent pending with IP Australia, researching freedom to operate, researching prior art, and above all, ensuring that I looked very good when it came to total market readiness, something that was heavily weighted in the MVP criteria. The instant chill is 90 millimeters high by 75 millimeters in diameter. I now measure my disposed prototypes by the litre, literally by the litre. I have thrown out 5 times 10 litre containers worth of prototypes. I have only 1 times 10 to the minus 1 litre container at the moment. I don't keep them because it's too hard to emboss or deboss them with the version number, so to avoid confusion, I throw them out and just keep the 3D design file with adequate version and date referencing and comments. And now I don't even get a look into the possibility that I could be compensated for what I have spent. I have to ask, was I supposed to save up all of this work and money that I had spent and spontaneously ignite across all of the disciplines that I have demonstrated that I have become familiar with, and do it all on September 1st to be eligible for the funding? Any inventor, any YouTube video about inventing will tell you it's a long, hard slog. And the only reason I did it was the MVP program's tipping point that was on offer that got me to do this. And look where I am now. Investment NSW's MVP Ventures program has become the antithesis of its stated mission to motivate and stimulate inventors. Rather than fostering innovation, this grant scheme has established itself as a centre of excellence in frustrating the very inventors it claims to support. The fundamental problem is clear. Investment NSW demonstrates little to no recursive self-improvement in the critical field of turning innovative sparks into commercial reality. Their September 1st program overhaul exemplifies this failure, changing eligibility criteria after inventors had already committed substantial effort and funding to meet the original requirements. It is with interest that I look at the deliverability milestones stated in the latest release from MVP. Gosh, if MVP delivery time milestones equaled what you are requesting from people entering your program, I wouldn't have lost 2 months of my available 12 months to mobilize and monetize. Patent pending applications only last for 12 months. And yes, I'm thinking there is a chance that MVP does not even know that my invention has been wasted waiting for your policy to change at the last minute, thus invalidating any potential claim that I may be considered for. A lot of people come to me for business advice, and I say the same thing. Buy whatever you're selling from yourself, and then you'll find out how bad you really are or how good you really are. I have, in theory, attempted to buy something from Investment New South Wales MVP, and my purchasing power was time, money, innovation, and enterprise, and a wholehearted recognition of TMR, total market readiness. The end objective from investment NSW was to have me spend that money in NSW. The end objective from me was to have benefited from my own invention with the help of the New South Wales government. And look at where I am now.